Now you brought up politics, right?
Yes.
And I am curious to know your thoughts on how you see politics intertwined with our Second Amendment rights
Absolutely.
and the difference between, or if there is a difference between the two parties and how they feel about our rights.
So I'm going to start out by saying I hate politics. I don't consider myself to be a political person. I try to be very sober about the Second Amendment. I mean, it's not a secret, right? When the Second Amendment was written, people that look like you and I were not in mind. It
Right.
is what it is, right? Um, and now, when I look at politics, to me, it is all sort of a game. Whether you're red or whether you're blue, you're going to hear promises that are not met. I'm not going to put my
Mm-hmm.
confidence in that. What I wish people would pay more attention to, as opposed to the president of the United States, the vice president, while they are important, your local government. That's where the
Mm,
change. When these people, when your representatives are writing up these bills and they're voting on them in private and in sessions that the general public is not privy to or not going to attend, that's where the change happens. You know, here in North Carolina, we just got rid of a Jim Crow law that required a permit in order to purchase firearms. That's an old
mm,
Jim Crow law that's been on the books forever. But as the conversation was
wow.
happening in North Carolina at the local level, so many people were ignorant to that, right? So we're worried
Mm,
about all of this nationwide reciprocity and so forth. And I'm not saying those things are not important, but
right.
when it comes to really what your rights look like and your ability to exercise those rights, we need to
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to our local governments and we need to have our voices represented and heard there. And we will find that regardless of whether that person is red or blue, when they're having those conversations, those lines get really fuzzy. You know, at this point, when we're having political discussions, everybody's playing to their constituents, right? They're going to say whatever
Right.
needs to be said to be elected. It is, I hate to minimize it to this, but it's a popularity contest. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not swayed by that. And we can't be so ignorant as to think that the president, the vice president can do anything without all these other folks. We need to worry about our Supreme Court. I mean, these people are in
Mm-hmm.
office until they die. So there's still
Right.
people who are sitting on Supreme Court benches who would have favored lynching our grandparents. That should bother us, right? So it's a game, and I just wish that we would be more educated and a little bit less emotional when it comes to that. I'm not me
Mm,
personally, you know, and it's everyone's right to vote the way you want, just vote. I will say I am not um I'm not associated with either party. I don't trust either one. But every election, I choose the lesser of two evils, so to speak. And that's
right.
kind of how I approach it. And I just listen to whatever the issues are that are on the table.
Yeah. I like that you focus on the local politics because that's what really changes communities. That's what
Yes.
is going to affect you directly.
Mhm.
Government, major government politics, yes, it's good, but it's a circus at the end of
Mhm.
the day. So
Absolutely.
think the more focus we put on local politics, who is on our boards, who are on our
Mhm.
school boards,
Yes.
who are the directors, who are working the utility companies around us,
Mhm.
who are working on our streets and our roads and our signage, and that all is local. And I
Yeah.
think people need to kind of wake up, smell the coffee, and focus on that.